Hello student, today we'll be read Electrochemistry Part 2. Electrochemical series, it is the arrangement of standard reduction potential in their increasing order. And this reduction potential measured at 298 Kelvin. This is an electrochemical series. Elements are arranged either the metal or non-metal. Element which has that of the positive reduction potential like first element fluorine 2.87 standard reduction potential is positive. It means it can easily reduce and it is the strongest oxidizing agent. As you move downward, reduction is decreasing but oxidation increases. If I will be compare first two elements like fluorine and cobalt, which one will undergo oxidation, which one undergo reduction, we can say which has a higher positive value that undergo reduction and which has a lower positive value that undergo oxidation. On this basis also will be decide which element in an electrochemical cell we will place at cathode or anode. Element which undergo that of reduction means fluorine must be at an cathode and cobalt which undergo oxidation must be at a anode. This is a remaining part of electrochemical series. Lithium is the last element which has the highest negative value of standard reduction potential. It is the strongest reducing agent. It can easily oxidize. More is the negative value, more is the oxidation power, or you can say more easily get oxidized. Application of electrochemical series. Lower the value of the standard reduction potential, greater is the tendency to form cation or undergo oxidation. Take an example of this calcium. Calcium can combine with sulfuric acid, can replace hydrogen from an acid, but copper cannot displace hydrogen from an acid. This is because calcium has that of lower value than that of hydrogen. Calcium has a negative reduction potential, and as we know, hydrogen is the zero reduction potential is there. Calcium has a lesser negative value than hydrogen, so that it can displace hydrogen from acid. But copper has positive reduction potential than hydrogen, so it cannot able to displace hydrogen from acid. Oxides of metal placed below hydrogen are not reduced by hydrogen, like sodium, lithium, due to the negative reduction potential value, but oxide of iron and metal placed above iron are reduced by hydrogen, like tin, lead, copper, due to the higher reduction potential value than hydrogen. Reducing character increases down the series means as you move downward, oxidation increasing. The activity increases down the series because as we move downward, oxidation increases, electron can easily lose, so reactivity increases down the series. How can we determine EMF, electromotive force, in an electrochemical cell? EMF is equal to ER minus EL. The electrode which is at the right hand side, that is the ERHS. Electrode at the left hand side, that is the ELHS. Or you can say E is equal to EC minus EA. E cathode minus E anode. If this EMF value comes positive, then reaction is spontaneous. Otherwise, it is not. Greater the reduction potential of the substance, highly power of oxidizing, or you can say easily reduce, In this example, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Fluorine is the strongest oxidizing agent. It can easily reduce due to the higher positive value of standard action potential. A negative value of the standard action potential indicate we will be place it at the anode or oxidation take place. A positive value of the standard action potential means that can easily undergo reduction and electrode must be at a cathode. We can determine electrode potential of half cell or a complete cell by Nernst equation. This Nernst equation gives the relationship between concentration of ions and electrode potential. Take an example, Mn positive plus n electron to give M. Electrode potential E Mn positive oblique M. Electrode potential of metal is equal to E degree Mn positive oblique M. Standard reduction potential will be keep their value, and we know how to find out standard reduction potential, that is ER minus EL. Minus 2.303 R T N divided by NF. R is the gas constant that is remain fixed, 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. T is the temperature that also remain fixed, 298 Kelvin. F Faraday constant value is fixed, 96,500 coulomb. N, it is not a constant value, it depends upon the reaction. It is the number of electrons involved during chemical reaction. Log 1 by Mn positive concentration. If I will be substitute all values R, T and F because it is remain same, so we can be write this Nernst equation E Mn positive oblique M is equal to E degree Mn positive oblique M minus 0.0591 divided by N log 1 by Mn positive. See this reaction, aluminium 3 positive plus 3 electron gives the aluminium. In this reaction, 3 electrons involved. So in a Nernst equation, in place of this N, I will substitute 3 value. For a complete electrochemical cell, take an example, AA plus BB gives that of CC plus GD. We can also find there the electrode potential of the cell by an Nernst equation. Then equation will be E cell is equal to E degree cell minus 2.303 RT divided by NF log concentration of the product divided by concentration of reactant. Or you can say log concentration of C raised to power C, concentration of D raised to power D divided by concentration of A raised to power A, concentration of B raised to power B. If I will be substitute again value of R, T and F because it is a constant, Nernst equation can becomes E cell is equal to E degree cell minus 0.059 divided by N log concentration of product divided by concentration of reactant. During this reaction, if there is any pure solid or liquid is there, we can take their concentration as a unity. Now, what is the relationship between Nernst equation and equilibrium? During an equilibrium reaction, E cell becomes the zero. If I will be substitute in the above equation, then E degree cell is equal to 0.0591 divided by N log Kc at 298 Kelvin. If I want to find out Gibbs free energy, standard Gibbs free energy, then delta G degree is equal to minus NF E degree cell. N is the number of electron involved during a chemical equation. F Faraday constant. E degree cell is the standard reduction potential of an electrochemical cell. How can we determine reaction is the spontaneous or non-spontaneous? If delta G degree comes negative, or E degree cell comes positive, it is a spontaneous reaction. Then it is a galvanic type cell is also formed. If delta G comes positive and E degree cell comes negative, then reaction will be non-spontaneous. If both delta G degree and E degree cell comes 0, then reaction is equilibrium. Now one more relationship between free energy change and equilibrium constant. Delta G degree is equal to minus 2.303 RT log 10 Kc. R is the gas constant, value remain fixed 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. T is the temperature, Kc is the equilibrium constant. What is conductance? It measures how much current flow in a conductor and it is denoted by C. It is the reciprocal of their resistance. C is equal to 1 by R. R unit is ohm, so conductance unit is ohm inverse mho. Now, what is specific conductivity? It is the reciprocal of the specific resistance. It is defined as the conductance of the conductor whose length is 1 centimeter and area of cross section equal to 1 centimeter square. Or we can say that for an electrolytic solution, specific conductivity is defined as the conductance of 1 centimeter cube of the solution. It is denoted by kappa, K, that is kappa is equal to 1 by rho. It is a reciprocal of specific resistance is equal to L by R A. L is the length of the conductor, A is the area of cross section. 1 by R we can write C multiply by L by A. L by is the cell constant and it remains constant for a particular cell. Units of the specific conductivity or specific conductance or conductivity we can say unit is the Siemens centimeter inverse or ohm inverse centimeter inverse or mho centimeter inverse. As we know, cell constant is the L by A. If I will be substitute unit of the L and A, L is the centimeter, A is the centimeter square. Unit of cell constant is a centimeter inverse. Specific conductivity decreases on dilution. This is because concentration of ions decreases upon dilution. Conductivity can be measured by the help of the molarity or normality. If will be measured conductivity with the help of molarity, we can say molar conductivity. That is the conductivity of all the ions produced when 1 mole of an electrolyte is dissolved in VmL of the solution. It is related to the specific conductance as lambda m is equal to kappa multiplied by 1000 divided by m molarity. M is the molarity of the solution. Now what is the equivalent conductivity depend upon normality of the solution. Same way will be measured conductivity of the ions produced when 1 gram equivalent of an electrolyte dissolved in VmL of the solution. It is also related to specific conductance. Formula is there. Lambda equivalent is equal to kappa 1000 multiplied by 1000 divided by n. Units of molar conductivity is there. Ohm inverse centimeter square mole inverse or Siemens centimeter square mole inverse. And unit of equivalent conductivity is there. Ohm inverse centimeter square equivalent inverse. There are two types of electrolyte, strong and weak electrolyte. Strong electrolyte which can dissociate completely into their ions and higher value of conductivity, molar as well as equivalent. Weak electrolyte cannot ionize completely into the ions and having lower value of conductivity. For example, strong electrolyte HCl, H2SO4, NaOH, KCl, NaCl, Weak electrolyte ammonium hydroxide, acetic acid. Now our next aim to measure concentration of solution for a strong electrolyte we can be measured by a graphical representation between molar conductivity and square root of concentration. We can be observed in this graph for a KCl strong electrolyte. There is a linear relationship between the molar conductivity and square root of the concentration, but at a low concentration. When the concentration is low, the curve is almost a straight line, showing a linear dependence of molar conductivity on the square root of concentration. But as soon as concentration increases, the curve is no longer a straight line. If we extrapolate the straight line up to that of the delta C is equal to 0, then we'll be get a molar conductivity at infinite dilution. That value is known as the lambda m infinitive. We can be measured for the strong electrolyte, but for a weak electrolyte, we cannot be measured by this graphical representation. Because we can see this acetic acid, it is also a linear relationship between lambda m and under root c, but we cannot be extrapolate up to there that of under root c is equal to 0. It will be extended further more and more further the curved line of the acetic acid, but there is no possibility that lambda m infinitive we can be calculate. So lambda m infinitive for a weak electrolyte can be calculated by the new law, that is the Collatz law. Collatz law. At infinite dilution, molar conductivity of an electrolyte is the sum of the ionic conductivities of the cation and anion. For example, any of salt or any weak electrolyte AX By, lambda m infinitive AX By is equal to X is the number of ions A, lambda m infinitive A positive plus Y is the number of ions of B, lambda m infinitive B negative. Lambda infinitive equivalent by the same way we can calculate lambda m infinitive A positive plus lambda m infinitive B negative. Application of Collatz law. It is used to determine equivalent or molar conductivity of weak electrolyte by using the values of the strong electrolyte. For example, we want to find out molar conductivity of acetic acid, lambda m infinitive CH3COH. As we know, CH3COH is a weak electrolyte, but by using the molar conductivity of strong electrolyte, we can able to find molar conductivity at infinite dilution for a weak electrolyte. How is it is possible? We will need there that of sodium acetate lambda m infinitive HCl or lambda m infinitive NaCl. For this purpose, we need that of two ions in acetic acid, acetate ion CH3CO negative and H positive. So we will be select that strong electrolyte in which acetate and H positive ion. In sodium acetate, acetate ion is there CH3CO, but Na positive is an extra ion, so we need to cancel out. For this purpose we need there lambda m infinitive NaCl. So overall equation can becomes lambda m infinitive CH3CONa plus lambda m infinitive HCl minus lambda m infinitive NaCl. Second application is there to find degree of dissociation of electrolyte at a given dilution. Alpha is the degree of dilution. It is known as the ratio of their molar conductivity at C concentration and molar conductivity at infinite dilution. And as we know that alpha is the degree of dissociation, we can be calculate from the dissociation constant Kc is equal to C alpha square over 1 minus alpha. C is the concentration, alpha is the degree of dissociation. Third application is it is used to determine the solubility of the sparingly soluble salt like barium sulfate, lead sulfate, AgCl, AgBr, AgI. They cannot dissolve in a large amount in water. So lambda m infinitive is equal to kappa molar conductivity multiplied by 1000 divided by solubility in mole per liter. Or we can be find solubility in mole per liter is equal to kappa into 1000 divided by lambda m infinitive.